Children, today we'll study about test cross. What is a test cross? A cross between an individual with dominant phenotype. Right? Suppose we are taking red color as dominant phenotype. So, if we want to know that whether that individual with dominant phenotype is homozygous or heterozygous for the trait, because that is not known to us, then what we will do, we'll perform a cross between that individual with unknown genotype and its recessive parent. For example, you have been given a flower which is red in color. So the red color could be produced in homozygous condition as well as in heterozygous condition, and that is what we have to find out, whether it is homozygous or heterozygous for the trait. So what we will do, we will cross it with its recessive parent. So for red color, the recessive trait is white, right? So we'll consider two possibilities, two situations. In first situation, we will take the red color as homozygous, and in the second one we'll take it as heterozygous. Okay, so let us concentrate on case 1, where the red has been taken as homozygous and it has been crossed with its recessive parent, and recessive trait is always produced in homozygous condition only, right? So this will produce one type of gamete, this will produce one type of gamete, and a random fusion will result into a hybrid, and that hybrid will be red colored. All will be red colored. Okay, case 2, where we have taken the red as heterozygous, crossed with its white or recessive parent. Okay, since red is heterozygous, it will produce two types of gametes, and white as usual will produce one type of gamete. Random fusion shows that in this case, both the phenotypes red and white appear in the ratio 1:1. In this case, only one phenotype is appearing, but here both the types of phenotype are appearing in the ratio 1:1. So what conclusion could be drawn from these cases? That if all the individuals are red colored, if only one type of trait, only dominant trait is being shown by the individual, that means it is homozygous for the trait, right? But if both the traits appear in the ratio 1:1, 50%, that means it is heterozygous for the trait. Okay, so such type of cross is called as test cross. And what is the application of test cross? It is done to determine the genotype of individual with dominant phenotype. Okay, now coming to another type of cross, that is back cross, not given in your NCERT book. Okay, but I feel you must know about it. So cross between an F1 hybrid with any of its parents, either with the dominant parent or with the recessive parent, right? Suppose here again we have taken the symbol, the trait, the red and white. Okay, so F1 hybrid means always it is going to be heterozygous. Okay, so in case 1 we will cross the F1 hybrid with its dominant parent, and in case 2 we will cross the F1 hybrid with its recessive parent. That is what is the definition of back cross, right? So case 1, the hybrid parent will produce two types of gametes because it is heterozygous, and the dominant parent, since it is homozygous, so it will produce only one type of gamete. Random fusion between them will occur, and that will result into the production of only the dominant phenotype, all red in this case. Okay, in the case 2, where we have crossed the F1 hybrid with its recessive parent, what we will find? Both dominant and recessive trait will appear in the ratio 1:1, right? And this type of cross is called as test cross. Okay, so we can say that test cross is a type of back cross. Test cross is a type of back cross, because this is also back cross, this is also back cross, but this type of back cross is called as test cross, right? Now come to another type of inheritance, that is incomplete dominance. What is incomplete dominance? As the name suggests, the dominant trait is not able to mask the effect of another allele completely. जब एक डोमिनेंट एलिल रेसेसिव एलिल को पूरी तरह से मास्क नहीं कर सकता, उसके इफेक्ट को पूरी तरह से डोमिनेट जब नहीं कर पाता उसके ऊपर, तो जो एक्सप्रेशन होता है उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं इनकम्प्लीट डोमिनेंस, राइट. इट इज द फेनोमेना वेयर none of the two alleles of a gene is dominant over each other. So, when two different alleles are present together, suppose capital R, small r, two different alleles, when they are present together, according to Mendel, they should produce red color. But in incomplete dominance, instead of red color, a new phenotype is formed, and this new phenotype is intermediate, is in between. The expression of two alleles is in between the two parents. मतलब red और white को जब हम क्रॉस करेंगे और ऐसा हाइब्रिड मिलेगा तो उसका एक्सप्रेशन रेड नहीं होगा, उसका एक्सप्रेशन कुछ और होगा, which will be in between both of its parents, and that phenomena is called as incomplete dominance, right. So let us now study about incomplete dominance in detail. It was studied in the plant Antirrhinum majus. This is the scientific name, common name of the plant, snapdragon or dogflower. And one more plant, Mirabilis jalapa. The scientific common name is 4 o'clock plant. In these two type of plants, two types of flowers are produced, red and white. Okay, so let us see how incomplete dominance was studied in these flowers. See, red, since we have to start the experiment with parents, so and parents are always homozygous. So for red color, it is homozygous. For white color, again it is homozygous. Okay. Homozygous parents always produce one type of gamete, and the random fusion between the gamete has resulted into the formation of an F1 hybrid. Capital R, small r is the genotype. And according to Mendel, an individual with this genotype should have produced the red flowers or red color. But actually here, all the flowers produced are pink, an intermediate color between both of its parents, right. Now how do we get F2 generation? By performing self-pollination between F1 plants, right. So this F1 individual now will become as parent and self-pollination is being performed, right. So this is one parent. Let us suppose this is female and this I have taken as male parent. Female parent will also produce two types of gametes because it is heterozygous. Likewise, male parent will also produce two types of gametes because this is heterozygous, right. And then we'll draw a checkerboard to find out the possibilities of random fusion between the gametes. Fusion between this and this will produce an individual with the genotype capital R, capital R. Here it will, the genotype will be capital R, small r. Here capital R, small r, and in for this box it will be small r, small r, right. So when it is in homozygous state, expression will be red. But wherever it is in heterozygous state, wherever it is in hybrid condition, wherever the alleles, two different alleles are coming together, in this case instead of red, they are producing pink flowers. And in homozygous, recessive homozygous condition, the expression is white. So how many types of phenotype we have got? 3 different phenotypes, red, pink, white. In the ratio 1 red, 2 pink, 1 white, right. So this 1:2:1 is the phenotypic ratio. Why? Because it is based on the expression of the individual. Okay. Now we will try to find out the genotypic ratio, the genetic makeup. So red, what is the genotype for red color? It is capital R, capital R. Genotype for pink color, it is capital R, small r. Genotype for white color, it is small r, and they are also present in the ratio 1:2:1. Right? So this is a case of incomplete dominance, where the dominant allele is unable to mask the effect of recessive allele completely, so that a new type of phenotypic expression is produced by the individual in hybrid condition, which is always intermediate between the two. ठीक है, अगर एक पेरेंट ब्लैक है और दूसरा वाइट है तो इंटरमीडिएट एक्सप्रेशन क्या हो जाएगा? ग्रे. राइट? लाइक दैट हियर रेड एंड वाइट, intermediate expression is pink, and some scientists consider this to be a case of blending experiment, right? And this is called as incomplete dominance. Follow? Now what is actually dominance? We had studied that according to the law of dominance, the allele which is able, out of the two allele, one is able to express itself in the F1 individual and another one is unable to express, right? So one which expresses is said to be the dominant, one which is unable to express is said to be recessive. Okay, now what controls the characters in the individual? It is the gene, right? It is the gene or factor as called by Mendel that contains information to express a particular trait, right? Where is this gene present? Definition wise, it is a segment of DNA. So gene is a segment of DNA. Gene is present on DNA, right? Now we are trying to understand that how a gene expresses or controls a particular trait. ठीक है, तो जीन चूंकि डीएनए का एक पार्ट है, तो डीएनए क्या करता है? डीएनए एमआरएनए बनाता है. ठीक है, कैसे बनाता है? बाय कॉपिंग प्रोसेस, एंड दैट कॉपिंग प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. तो जैसे ही डीएनए से आरएनए बना, मतलब डीएनए अपना इंफॉर्मेशन किसको दे दिया? एमआरएनए को दे दिया. ठीक है, एमआरएनए अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट इंफॉर्मेशन विच इट हैज गॉट फ्रॉम डीएनए will form proteins, and that process is called as translation, right? And these proteins act as enzymes and control a biochemical pathway. What do proteins do? Proteins control a biochemical pathway. For example, you all have studied about glycolysis. So what happens in glycolysis? Glycolysis is a process where glucose is converted to pyruvate, right? And there are so many intermediate reactions, and each reaction is catalyzed by an enzyme. And what is this enzyme? Enzyme is a protein, right? And this protein, how this protein has been formed? According to the information contained by DNA. Right? And whatever is the end product of a metabolic pathway, actually that is the expression of a gene. This is how a gene is expressing itself. Right? Now, in diploid organisms, sexually reproducing organisms, there are two copies of a gene. Right? And these two copies of a gene only are called as alleles. And they occupy the same position on the homologous chromosome. Okay. Now, these alleles, I have said, they could be homozygous, they could be heterozygous. Let us consider a situation TT. Right? What type of condition it is? This is heterozygous condition. Got it? And so far, whatever is our knowledge, according to that, we know that this is the dominant allele, this is the recessive allele. Right? So, out of these two alleles, one is normal and produces a normal enzyme. So out of these two, this is the dominant allele is the normal one, right? And this dominant allele produces a normal enzyme, and the another allele, small t, is actually a modified allele. Small t, small r, small y, the recessive form of any gene, right? That is actually a modified allele, right? A modified allele or a recessive allele can produce, number one, a normal or a less efficient enzyme. एंजाइम तो बना रहा है, नॉर्मल एंजाइम भी हो सकता है, थोड़ा कम नॉर्मल भी हो सकता है, राइट? नंबर टू, a modified allele can produce a non-functional enzyme. Non-functional enzyme का मतलब कि जो किसी काम का नहीं है, और it may not produce any enzyme. So a modified allele can express itself in three ways. नॉर्मल एलिल तो एक ही तरीके से एक्सप्रेस कर रहा है, नॉर्मल एलिल हमेशा नॉर्मल एंजाइम बना रहा है, लेकिन जो दूसरा एलिल है, जो रेसेसिव एलिल है, वो तीन तरीके से अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस कर सकता है. या तो वो नॉर्मल या लेस एफिशिएंट एंजाइम बनेगा, या वो नॉन फंक्शनल एंजाइम बनाएगा, या वो एंजाइम नहीं बनाएगा. ठीक है, तो अगर वो नॉर्मल या लेस एफिशिएंट एंजाइम बना रहा है, इन दैट केस उसका भी कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा किसमें, इन एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ द फिनोटाइप. लेकिन अगर वो एक नॉन फंक्शनल एंजाइम बना रहा है या कोई एंजाइम नहीं बना रहा है, तो इन दैट केस द एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल विल ओनली बी डिसाइडेड बाय द प्रेजेंस ऑफ डोमिनेंट एलिल. इन दैट केस ये पूरी तरह से डोमिनेट करेगा किस पे, इस पे. सारा का सारा एक्सप्रेशन जो है वो इस पे डिपेंड करेगा, तो इसीलिए इस केस में वो रेड होगा. ठीक है, लेकिन अगर वो नॉर्मल एंजाइम बनाएगा, ये म्यूटेटेड एलिल, ये मॉडिफाइड एलिल अगर ये नॉर्मल बना रहा है या अगर लेस एफिशिएंट एंजाइम बना रहा है, तो ये भी कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा फिनोटाइप में, एंड इन दैट केस द फिनोटाइप कुड बी डिफरेंट from the normal one, right? So this is how we can explain the concept of dominance. Children, this is what is my observation. You are not going through the videos, okay, because none of you are asking any doubt from me. If you will go through the videos, then only you will have some doubts. If you will go through NCERT book as well as the videos, you will get some doubts and then you'll ask me. लेकिन आप अगर पढ़ोगे ही नहीं तो आपको डाउट नहीं होगा. Please don't do that. We have completed 4 chapters and we have now started chapter 5. Right? So it's my humble request from all of you that do go through NCERT book and do consult me if you have got any doubt. My WhatsApp number is there. That is only my contact number. So do not hesitate in calling me anytime. Right? Thank you, children.